Good times, sunshine, gonna be here in no time now. Bad times, gray skies, push them all away, turn them upside down. You're gonna break new ground, turn everything around. You're gonna live your life. There's a beautiful day headed your way. Keep your head up, you'll be okay. Beautiful day waiting for you. Just open your eyes, you'll see it's true. A beautiful day.
Welcome back to the Booga Box live stream. It's Tuesday. Hope everybody had a good weekend. You can see we're on a single cam today. We're doing the inlay and I'm doing a time lapse with it. So I'm going to go ahead and get into it while I kind of start my talk so I don't have as much to edit later on. But I hope everybody had a good weekend. We're going to, from now on, be on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 12:30 p.m. Find us on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. And again, like I said, I do thank everybody for joining us now, or if you're watching us later. I do appreciate it. Don't forget to give the likes, the thumbs up, shares, all that good stuff. So we're working on an inlay. We're not going to say what the inlay is, probably not till next Tuesday. I want to get a little further into it so you can actually start seeing some shape to it. It was just, was it Saturday night? I finally got the design done. Thought I had everything working well, and I kind of started getting into it Saturday night. And by Sunday afternoon, well, didn't open that one up far enough. I started realizing something that I had done when I used this size ring before, and I didn't look at my book, and I went with my normal ring time. Hopefully things are still going. What's going on here? Man, I don't want to have issues today. Yeah, it's already showing me issues. Dang it. I don't have time for issues. Let's try to refresh. Hopefully I'm not missing any comments, but let me see if that will work. Maybe. Mute that. Alright, we'll see if that works. I don't want to take too much time out of this. But anyway, I'm working with 3/16, 18 or 16 gauge rings, so they're quite tight. I've only done 2 other inlays out of this ring size before. First one really it was small, so it wasn't no biggie. Second one was bigger, and that's when I started noticing some things. And so my ring times are well off. My normal is about 13-14 seconds a ring on an inlay. In normal 1/4 inch, 5/32 seconds, 6 or 18 gauge. A little bit longer when I'm using 1/8, 20 gauge. But this is definitely taking a bit longer. I'm averaging about 20 to 22 seconds per ring, so I underestimated my time it was going to take on doing this, because I would like to get it done before a certain date, early October, but it's going to be a challenge to get to that point. In a way, I mean, I only need about 2.5 hours a day. Most days that's not going to be an issue, but it could be a minor problem. I'm just going to keep pushing away at it and see what happens. We are currently working on row 10 of 104, I believe it was. And with the rings being so small, I'm actually at 145 wide. So each row is 145 rings in it. It's taking me about 55-ish minutes to an hour, depending on, honestly, which way I am going. The way I'm currently going down this way, it's a lot faster. And when I start coming back up the row, I have to kind of turn everything sideways to fit everything in, to be able to get it closed, because like I said, these are such tight fitting. They're not like overly tight. I have a little bit of play one direction. Quick looks around here. Like my side to side, you can see I have a little bit, but not much compared to what we normally have. And my up and down is non-existent. It a wiggle. I mean, we're talking 1/16 of an inch maybe. So there's not much wiggle room in this weave, but there's also not much you can see through, but there's not much gappage in between. So it has its pluses and minuses. I think the biggest issue, I like Chainmail Joe's rings. I have no problem with them. They're good quality, all that. They're just wound backwards for me. So that's taken a little bit of time to kind of overcome. But those rings are handling it pretty well, going kind of opposite than what I'm used to, or how they want to go compared to what I'm used to. But I've done it before, and I've worked with the Chainmail Joe rings before, and normally I don't have a problem with it, especially if it's a bracelet. It's normally a lot easier. And even if I was doing I've actually never used his 1/4 inch and done an inlay out of his 1/4 inch, which I should probably give it a try. I'm sure that would be much easier to do, but to me, it's left-handed. The way the rings are done. Other people have no problem, it seems like it, but I just, for some reason, I have to open them the other way. It just gives me issues, and I can see how it would work easily if I was left-handed, but this hand has no dexterity at all. It just like plays along. That's about it. It's the holder, it's the, it doesn't do much. And I use it for opening and closing rings, but to weave, I cannot weave with that hand for the life of me. And I've tried bent nose and different styles. Everybody's got their own style, and they come in handy depending on what I'm doing. I will use them on occasion, but a lot of people love the bent nose, but I could never. I didn't open that far enough. I could never quite get it. It seemed like with the bent nose, I was always mangling my rings. I needed something that I could go, like these, that I can go across a wider plane of the ring. So, I've got several different styles of pliers depending on what I'm working on. Got my smaller ones for when I'm working with smaller gauges. I got parallels if I want to use my parallels. I mean, several different sets of Tronics here. Tronics, right? Yeah. I always make sure I mispronounce their name quite often. But, like I said, we're just going to continue working on this. This is probably what we're going to do for the next several streams. Hopefully we can get in decent enough. We're about almost up into 8 hours, I think, on this now. So like I said, it's about 55 minutes or so a row, depending on which way I go. I think I'm getting probably about 45 going this way, and 50 to 55 to an hour going the other way, averaging me out to about 50 for 2 rows going down. And I do remember when I did this before on the one project, I tried it once where I pre-close some rings and I would put one through like I'm doing now and then have the next row below it. Sometimes that's difficult, especially if you're doing a picture portrait type thing where there's so many different changes per row. This would be easy because right now it's a lot of red. So it would be much easier to do, and I'd have to just concentrate more at color changes, but it's so tight it just makes it even more difficult to get them in there. I didn't time it when I did it before that way. I don't think it's any quicker. I mean, it could be, but overall, by the time you're done, I mean, you're getting in, you have to pre-close your ring, then you're getting them in there. It takes longer to put in that one final ring, but when you put in the one final, you also have two others that are now in there. So, again, plus minus, everything's a plus minus. Oh, come on. And, yeah, I figured I didn't open it far enough. I'm trying not to open them too far because I'm going against the grain, per se. But like, the rings are held up. I did some testing with them because at first it was taking me almost 25 to 30 seconds sometimes to put a ring in because it was just so backwards to me. After time, I can get a little faster, but it'll still backwards to me. When I've done my own coiling for years, it's been one way. When I started buying rings, even the first crap rings I bought, they were wound the way I was used to. Then I started buying TRL. They were wound that way. And in between there, I did buy a bag of Chainmail Joe, a couple. I think I bought like 3 or 4 pounds of bright aluminum at one point, different sizes. And they were backwards to me, and I used them. It was okay. That's what I actually made my wife's skirt out of. But then when I started going to anodized aluminum, I was just getting, all of them came one way. So now it's so weird to have them go the other way. Well, like I said, during the stream, we'll probably get about a line done, since we're in the stream for about an hour. I don't know, it kind of depends on how today goes. I still got some more things to do. I actually got no work done on this today yet till the stream. I had to mow this morning, get some lawn stuff done, kitchen done, partially done. I was also working on the chili. I started it up late last night. It's my 24-hour chili. Quick looks around, everything looks like it's going okay now. So yeah, I put it on about 8 o'clock last night, so it'll be done about 8 o'clock tonight. Probably be ready by 6, but it's kind of been nice. So it's like cook chili in the summer. Well, last couple days been kind of nice, so kind of cooled down. We're gonna get hot again. Figured, well, if I'm gonna do it, it's the best time to do it. Plus, kind of had that mood in me after there was a Chiefs game. Preseason's finally started, so football's in the brain now. So chili was hitting me like, football, chili, yeah. Normally it's later in the season though. And I'm still debating on where I'm going to hang all my stuff this year. I've got the big door hangers of Mahomes and Kelsey, and it's like, do I put them in the same spots they were last year? Do I switch them up? Because I'd planned on switching them up, but then we got the Super Bowl, so it's like, like any of that matters, but still it's like that commercial, the superstitions. That was like I had my old Chiefs hat I bought it and had it for 12 years. I still have it, and I still wear it out to mow and stuff in, but I was like, at one point after I had it for about 2 years, I was like, I'm not buying another Chiefs hat until we win the Super Bowl. And now I have like 6 more Chiefs hats since we won our first one a few years ago. Well, second one. I always call it the first one. The first one for me, it is the second one, now the third one. But yeah, I didn't open it far enough again, I could tell. Well, like I said, the colors might resemble a lot of colors that I've worked with when I'm doing Chiefs stuff, but this isn't a Chiefs item. So, even though it might look so, it will. You'll start seeing. There's only 4 colors in it, so it's kind of a basic. But once we get a little further into it, I can talk a little bit more about some other things that's going on. Again, nothing like super big or anything, but still stuff that has been crazy. I didn't open it far enough. Now I'm trying to get in between these. That's the thing with this also. This ring size, if you make a screw up anywhere above and you don't catch it while you're working on that line, yeah, you're kind of done. To be honest with you, because they're like my normal. When I'm using 1/4 inch, come on through there. This is why you can't do it, and this is with, you know, one row below it missing. And it would be a totally different story if that row was there. There's just no way to get in there for it. So, you screw up somewhere, it's pretty much there. I gotta make a V to it and rebuild back. Well, yeah, you can. If you, again, if it's like, it was, that's what happened with the first one I ever did in this ring size. That one was just, every line was screwed up. I totally had to, I started on the wrong line, going the wrong way. And once I got into it, basically it was backwards, and I couldn't flip it because it wasn't identical on the backside. So, but I guess it's not impossible, but the time involved in it, I guess it depends on how much you had invested in it up to that point. But good to see you, John. Hope you're having a good week. Had a good weekend. But yeah, that's kind of what I like about doing the 1/4 inch. Even the 5/32 16 or 18 gauge is pretty forgivable and get in there to change stuff up. But I don't know. I don't think you could probably go any smaller to do an inlay out of this. It's not fun. Could add a few row in the time to fix a mistake. Yeah. Well, that's the thing with that last one. That's why I started over. I think I was only probably about 7 lines in before I realized what I had screwed up. And there was really no easy way to fix on that because of every line pretty much being just off. I thought about I could shift, but it was still just throwing it off the way it was going to come out. Like I said, it looked okay from the backside, but then the W was reversed, so it wasn't going the right way. I have some 24, 16 I've been meaning to do an inlay with, but no idea what I want to do. Not done much inlay work. Heavy sweet. Smallest I've gone, it was the 1/8 inch 20 gauge. I think that it was this 20 gauge 1/8 inch. I did the Punisher inlay for my son. He's got that up on his wall. It came out pretty good. I liked it. Well, that was a lot of time spent in the hospital, and he was in there for his kidney failure. So I sat over at the hospital corner just working on that inlay forever. I don't even remember how long it took. Did it so many years ago. That was actually at the time, I think, the 3rd inlay I had done. Now I couldn't even count how many I've done now. I probably could if I thunk about it, but that's a lot of thunking. Then we'll actually start adding in some of the frost, the white if you want to call. And 2 more rows, we'll start slowly adding it in. That's why I think by next Tuesday I should be far enough along where you actually can see a design and the graphic would... it looks cool as is, but I want to be able to show it on the inlay here itself too. So next Tuesday we'll finally show what it will be. Like I said, it's kind of going along the same lines as some other stuff I've got going on here in October. So, which I still, hopefully we got Glad Fest coming up. Into September, October's always been busy when I've been doing band stuff, but now that I'm not doing the band stuff, it's even busier, it seems like. Before, it was like with the wife's anniversary, you know, there was always band stuff going on around there because our anniversary's the end of September. So we'd end up putting off normally any anniversary stuff till November. Now that I'm not doing band stuff, we can kind of do stuff. So then we got that. Then we got my birthday. Now we got Glad Fest add in there. This year I have 3 other things lined up there the first week and a half of October. So, like I said, I'll talk more about that at some other point. But it's just going to be a crazy again in October. Hopefully I'll be prepared for it. This line is actually coming along, like I said, pretty quick. This way always seems to go quicker. When I do it the other way, I have to kind of tweak it and put the whole thing sideways, kind of, to be able to get that closure that I need. I need to be able to be at the right angle. Oh, come on, you stupid thing. How I'm kind of up and above the ring when I'm coming back down the line. I can't really do that. I'm trying to figure out. I don't quite remember. I know there was something I did last time that helped me when I was coming back down the line, because I remember having this issue, and that was probably 3 or 4 years ago I did that inlay, at least 3. So it had been a while, so I'm trying. Parts of it are coming back. That was before I was doing any kind of streaming and whatnot, so I have no video to go back and look over, so it's just notes. And I did look at my notes, because that's where I found out my time difference per ring compared to normal was. Because I think I originally, when I did this design, I kept redesigning a little bit to get it to the size I wanted, more on a ring count, going, okay, this will have 16,000 rings, a little over 16,000. Now it's timing out, okay, 16,000 rings, and my normal quarter-inch rings, it, should take me about 55, 60 hours. And, yeah, this one's going to take me probably just a bit longer. But hopefully I'll have some good days that I can just pound out some. What happened, well, Sunday was Chiefs game, something else. I think I only ended up getting like an hour and a half work done when I was trying to get stuff ready for the week. Daughter was, since she's a teacher, she had the summer off while she's still going to school and whatnot. So the classes started back up, both for her schooling and her being a teacher. So I'm trying to get that squared away. It was kind of a crazy weekend in a way. Oh, John, are you still here? Oh man, I forgot to ask you. Yeah, you're gone, I think. Well, if you're here still, John, let me know. I do need to send you some more messages if you wanted to continue and try to do that laser stuff. I'm gonna have some time here, because I don't believe I'm going to be doing the fundraiser for the band this year in tumblers. I don't think they want to do it. I'm not sure. I have not been contacted about it. By now I would normally hear something. So I'm going to have kind of a little opening of time that I usually schedule not to do other stuff, and that's going to be open. So like I said, I think I'm going to have a little more opening this year at this time of the year. Though I am trying to get some other stuff going. I got in 3 more new items to try to laser etch up. I have to watch. Facebook's kind of crazy. I'm not sure exactly why. And one reason why I don't list a lot of stuff on Facebook, when I started doing it, it kept rejecting a lot of things. I kind of get the pocket knives and stuff that I do laser engraving on. I kind of get that, but then they started slowly going through and doing my tumblers. Original design tumblers, not, somebody's copying this and that. And so it was a little weird, and that's kind of why I stopped doing it. I tried to do a little bit of the chainmail too, but trying to go through and set it up. That's why it's normally just easier. You can contact me through Facebook. We'll set it up. Payments can be done with, I can send out PayPal invoices and all that. So I have half my, probably a little more than half of my sales actually come through after people have gone to the website and they see stuff and they want to talk to me. We chat through Facebook. By the time we're done, it's just easier for me to do a thing instead of them going through the website, because again, not everything on the website, I don't have everything on the website. So a lot of people that have seen things at a show, they're like, hey, I've seen this at the show, but I don't see it on your website. Yeah, I've got it. So, hey, John, have you gotten back here? Yeah, I don't see anything yet back from you. I'll send you a message in case you show back up here. See if you still wanted to do that laser stuff. But let's see what else we got going on. Other than that, I mean, Gladfest, I still haven't got my confirmation on that yet. Hopefully here, I mean, I still got till the first weekend of October for that, but I have been putting off, I did put it off getting into it because I wasn't sure. There's another one I was wanting to get into. It was going to be further away. You know, unknowns. I've heard good things about it by some from some other event people that go to that. 2 events, and I was like, well, this one's close. I know what it's going to be kind of like, though. Last year we went with our own tent in the thing. They also have a big like circus tent area where people can get into, and I think that's what I'm going to try this year. And so I got both comparisons to go by because we did pretty well last year. I was pretty happy with what we did at Gladfest. So I'm like, well, maybe we try to do the inside booth area where there's more vendors. There's a lot of vendors where we were, but we were on this parking lot that was hillier and crud, drove me nuts. Normally, I guess they use the streets. I don't know if they're going to be going back to the streets, but the other issue was lighting because they want you to pay $75, I think it was, for power. And I'm like, all I need power for is like 3 hours at night when it's dark. Maybe a little bit longer for close down, you know, but I was like, I cannot pay that. So we went with little lights last year, so it totally blew when it got dark out. We had enough where you could see things, but just wasn't good enough. Now I have better lighting, but we also ran off batteries, and I could do that again, and I have better lights to run that, but then it's just, you know, even it'll actually help on setup time in there because I don't have to worry about setting up a tent and you know, all that, because a tent setup is normally, I think it probably takes me and my daughter, I would say, at least 25 minutes to get the tent up with walls. It's an easy put up tent, but it you know, the little details, you know, when you put up on the walls, you got to make sure everything's velcroed up. We clearly need to get you on the chain reaction bandwagon. Well, thank you, Wally. Good to see you. Yeah, I was going to, for actually this design that I'm doing, I wanted to get your all's rings, but I already had some and I needed to get used through, and like I still have a list over there that has actually grown. Every time you guys keep adding new rings, I add more to my list that I want to order. And I know I'm going to have to redo the list, because if I gave that list to you now, it would take me a little while to pay it. Because who else did it? Oh, I had to get more TRL stuff, unfortunately. Scales. You know, I love Steampunk Garage scales, but they're all premium scales, which is great, but for some of the projects I do, I don't need premiums. And then frost. I had to get frost in this size, actually, because Chainmail Joe doesn't have frost in this. I don't think you guys have it either in this size. No, what's going on there? But yeah, your all rings do work well. I made several things up for those test batches I got from y'all. Well, one is space too. I got to have some place to put rings, because I'll have adding more suppliers. It means more space to put rings. And I'm trying to figure out a better, not necessarily a better system in a way. I guess it's more of storage. And I think I just need to get a couple more wheeling shelf carts so that I can put stuff on. But I'm running out of room down here. Got too many lasers. 4 lasers, I guess. 3 different types of lasers, 2 diode lasers. I just need a bigger house, or, you know, a storage place or a workshop out back that's bigger than my house. That would work. probably what I would need. I've already taken, you know, when we first moved in here 20 years ago, mostly this room was more just like a playroom in a way. I mean, it had couches and TVs and computers. And now there's a little place with a computer and a TV still, but 90% of it is workspace for workbenches, ringinators, lasers, 3D printers, everything else. It's gotten a little nutty. And well, next step I want to actually, it's got carpet down here, I want to rip it out. I want to epoxy this basement. Only problem with that is when that happens, that's going to mean time off from definitely not being able to do any major chain mailing, lasering, because all that stuff will have to move for that. So that'll kind of blow, but if I work it out right and can plan it and have enough help, that's always the biggest thing. Is I hate asking for help. That's why it took me 3 weeks to redo the steps on the deck. Well, partially help, but I took my time. I want to make sure I did it right. Oh, come on. There. Jeez, you're a pain. Where are we at in our time anyway? 30 minutes? Not bad. We're about done with this row. Then we come to the difficult. Right, so this is row 10, so whatever. That would be 145 times 10. Mathematical problems that I can normally figure out better in the day. But after mowing this morning, well, I didn't sleep well last night at all. I think only, according to my watch, only deep sleep for 35 minutes last night. Normally, you know, I'll get at least 2-3 hours of deep sleep, but yeah. And overall, I only slept for like 4.5 hours last night. I'm so tired. It's unbelievable. I don't know if I'll end up napping today or not, but I'm going to try not to. Actually, when we get done with the stream, I got a little bit more yard work I want to go do. I got some new hand chainsaw thing that's supposed to help with trimming down some things. See how it works. I haven't used it yet. Been putting it, had it for about a week and a half and just been putting it off because last time we mowed, it was mowed right before it rained, and then I haven't been back out. You know. All right, this one's going to be another booger because I got a ring in already. Ding-a-ling-a-ling, somebody's calling. I didn't even listen to who it was. I'm talking to myself right now. I don't want to listen to my phone. Shut up. You're on a stream, Carol. I never had thought about having to shut off the house phone. I haven't had to ever really worry about it. Yeah, la 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 la. Alright, well, there's nothing I can do about it. I'm trying to think, how can I mute it? Can't really mute the house phone. The base unit's right there by the computer, so really can't do anything with that. So I guess you just have to listen to a message whenever it gets called. I guess I could have... Actually, hopefully my sound's actually doing good today for y'all. I actually had to tweak it when I was... when I started doing my stream, or doing the video recording for this, for the time lapse, for some reason I was getting some crazy feedback that I mean I should be. I mean, it's basically what it set it now is how it was set, but for some reason I was getting weird feedback. I am using the TV. Normally I don't use the TV. I only use TV set up whenever I've got a stream so I can watch it too, but I was getting weird, crazy feedback, and I kept telling myself, I gotta remember to turn back the volume, turn back on the mic before we stream. And then the setting was all weird, so I think I put it in the proper setting, but I was unsure. It's like no way of knowing until I listen to it later myself. When I go to listen to my own stream, which is still crazy. Well, I don't do it nearly as often as I used to, but it's still weird. Because it's always weird to listen to yourself talk. You sound so different than what you sound like to yourself when you're talking, you know. Almost done with this row. Then I'll come in, put in a few stopper rings, figure out where they're going to go. Right now, anyway, it's easier to do it since there's only, most of this is all red right now. Here in a few more rows, though, I'll have to do counts at times. So I'll have back and forth between a few colors here and there. Okay, looks like everything's going well. Yeah, we had storms actually Sunday night too. But with it came the nice cooler weather. We got down to like 65 Sunday night. And we only got up to like 72 yesterday, 73. It was a little cloudy, a little sunny. Pretty nice, but everything was so wet, couldn't get out and do any yard work yesterday. That kind of blew. And then overnight we got down like 58. I was hoping I was going to have a great night's sleeping because it's going to be so cool, but it still never really cooled down in the house for the most part. And didn't sleep very long, so that didn't help. But mowing was nice. I think we were still at about 65 when we mowed this morning, so that was kind of nice. Hadn't had that in a while. Now I say this morning, it was still 2.5 to 3 hours after I'd gotten up. I always wait till 9. I want to make sure that I figured 9 is safe. I think we could probably, I think they say legally you can do it at like 7, but I normally try to wait till 9. That's most people are either up or gone by then, or at least up. And I normally, I kind of know what the people around me's schedules are. New next door neighbor, he mows lawn, so I know his kind of schedule of stuff. And I don't want to bother anybody, but by 9 o'clock, I figure can't yell too much. Oh, come on. Alright, I'll open you up further. Shouldn't have to. You just do not want to go through. There's nothing wrong right there. I didn't screw anything else up earlier. No. There it goes. It just wanted to be a pain. That's what I was doing early on. I had a lot of those that were just like, oh, why won't you go through? As normally, just because my hand won't tweak that way. Why can't I? And I even pulled out some bent nose to see if that would help with getting them into the positions that I needed to go to. And yeah, that wasn't helping either. So it's like, well, we're just going to go do it this way. Yeah, I need to go look at your stuff. I don't know if you're still here, Wally. I know you have some more colors in there. That's always been one of the things, kind of like, I want to get some stuff, but I want to make sure I can get a decent array of colors most of the time is what I want. Enough where I can do something with it, and when it comes, especially if it's an inlay. That's the biggest thing. Well, I want to do a grayscale inlay. I've seen some people do it. I think Larry, was it Larry? I think it was Larry. Somebody posted one, and I can't remember. It's a grayscale or something. And I've seen a few of them, and it's like I want to do a grayscale inlay. I think would just be neat. I mean, it'd be different, but I think it would be neat. All right, so that row's done. Row 10. Alright, let's see here. Checking my chart and my gauge here. So it butts up to it for the gold. Gold stopper. 2 and there. See, I have to flip it backwards, and normally it's better to be able to do it this way. Try to flip it upside down. You're still going the same way. I felt like an idiot after I flipped it. I was like, well, it's going the same way after I looked at it for a while. And then it'd be okay up this way, but then I can't weave it properly again. So it's one of those crazy things, Brian. I'm just a weirdo. I'm a weirdo. Yes, I am. Okay, it comes up through the first thread. There we go. It goes there. to see the crazy weave, the crazy closing of rings when I flip it around. Oh, sorry, John, just seeing this message. An air compressor and auto hammers, door shut. That was my current setup. And playing on a modify, making 12 inches these days. Yeah. Well, that's the ultimate. I'd love to be able to have buy a piece of land out where I can be more away from people. And I mean, I've got a little setup. It does okay, but I would definitely like to have a much better setup. Let's see here. 1, 2, 5. Yeah. So, got 4 more of these. And my lap works best and can be right looking down on now. These glasses cameras don't have my head in the yeah. Well, that's one thing I do. The streaming is. This is where I would normally be, if not more of it up in my lap, and I have to adjust things for doing a stream, which, it is what it is. But thing is, when I don't stream for a while, is when I forget that I can't just be doing it the way I would normally do it. Though with this, right, 1, 2, and 3. Yeah, okay. Make sure it's gonna stop right. Go ahead and get these black ones put in. Only $350K, 15-year mortgage. Yeah, we had the 30-year mortgage. And, there at one point didn't think we'd ever have a house, so I can't say, happy with what we got. Would I like to have bigger areas? Yes. At some point, yes. Honestly, I've tried to drop the life and getting, I'd like to get like 2 shipping containers and put it up out there and build it into one shop area. It wouldn't be huge, but it would be it would get the job done, I think. And then, I mean, they can do some pretty cool things with them. I'd rather do most of the work myself on it, though, anyway, but... And be honest with you, it'd probably be about cheaper that way than building a shop out there, because that's what we were looking at, and I kept looking at metal buildings, not just sheds. By the time everything's said and done, it's going to cost almost 20 grand to put that in. I mean, yeah, I'd use it and it'd be worth it in a way, but get a couple shipping containers and spend half that, and probably, I don't know, though. I don't think I'd ever put my lasers out there. That I'd definitely want some type of seasoned shop. Alright, so there's all those. Now it's just gold and red. Alright, move out of the way, guys. Back over to you, Goo. A handful of goldies. And this is row 11. Where's that? Oh, is that one of the I need to get that to move. Okay, yeah. I think that's what I was just talking about. I'll have to look at it bigger. But yeah, well, sent me a 2 shipping container house build earlier this week. Yeah. Well, I know it's something I've been talking to the wife about the past couple years, because looking at the metal sheds, the metal buildings, the wooden ones, just the prices on them, how crazy they were. And it was kind of funny after, I've been kind of bringing that up to her every so often. And here, I don't know what it was, probably 6 months ago, she was actually getting into a tiny home show on, I don't know, one of those streaming channels she found, and she was watching tiny homes, and then on the side of that there was actually a show that was based only on shipping containers. And they were building shops and stuff out, and she's like, "Hey, look, you've been saying something about this." Yeah, those might be a little too fancy. I don't need anything that great, but be nice to have some place that I could have something, you know. And that would be kind of, you could set that up and get that kind of to be climate controlled. That's going to be the biggest thing with putting some things out in that kind of setup. And neat concepts. Overall quick structures are 4K, then a grand recondition them still takes a lot versus timber. Yeah, there's pluses and minuses. Because at one point in time, we've got actually several people up and around us that have them for they use them just for their, instead of buying a storage shed, I guess, they just put one of those in their backyard and put their mowers and stuff in them. And it's like, yeah, I could do that. I got enough room for all my mower equipment storage and stuff for right now. I just need some type of working shop. That's where I need something like that so I can build my bigger... Come on, get out of the way, thing. Oh man, what happened? I just lost my video feed, and now I can't see and read. There we go. Oh, there we go. Old style 4x4 or 6x6 timber with steel wood. It's 3 to 600. Okay, I don't know where you get that. Maybe where you can buy your wood right now. It's not building, not taxed the same. Yeah, well, that's the other thing too. They do have certain sizes around here. They have to get building permits and all that for. But yeah, I mean, I spent what was it? Ooh, okay, I'm gonna start getting feedback and I'll take care of that. We spent almost $800 replacing our steps, our deck steps. And that was, I mean, come on, there it goes. That was, I mean, it was tall. Our deck is kind of way up there, and I had 14 steps, and I had to have, 16-foot stringers and whatnot, but still. The wood prices around here were just insane. And I priced out just to replace my current deck boards on it. I need 40 of them, and each board is $22 for a 2x6. At 16 foot, because I'd have to cut off 2 foot because I'm 14 foot up there. But yeah, the wood, I mean, that's just been the big killer. As I was wanting to do the deck boards at the same time, I kind of cleaned them up best I can. I'm hoping to get those done here in the fall, but I might have to wait till next spring too. But I mean, yeah, I didn't buy all that much, but wood was just freaking insane. Well, and when I was chatting with a few people around here, it looks like I can get a container for about $2,200. Biggest thing is going to be the cost of getting it moved. Somebody that can do the shipping, that's going to be, from what I've heard, about another $1,000. So, what's a 10 by 12 4x4 cost? Oh, what was that one? It was $53, I think. Because my stringers were 87. They were 16-foot stringers, 10 by or 2 by 12, and yeah, they were $87 for those, and I had 2 of them. I wanted to put in a third one, but I couldn't. I mean, it doesn't need it. I wanted to do it just because, but it probably worked out better that I didn't, because I had to do the concrete work too. So that was the first time I ever did concrete work. That was the whole thing about doing all the steps, and that done a lot of stuff. I've worked with wood my entire life pretty much, but I've never actually done, most of mine are finished pieces, tables and whatnot, like, never really outdoor construction type stuff. So, and never did concrete work, so I was reading and watching videos for how to do concrete, because I had to put a better footer in there than what was there. And 15 beams and the roofing and bolts. Yeah, not around here, I don't think. I mean, now, I mean, the more wood you get, you can get in some discounts that help, I guess, around here, because I did look at that, but yeah, it was just 2x4s weren't too badly priced, but Now again, this was all treated wood too. I get that will play a difference in that. The untreated wood was definitely cheaper, but this was all outdoor steps, stringer. It's all going to be getting rain, snowed on, so. That shipping container would need air gun to spray paint, sandblast, different skills, but skills needed either way. That is true. That is true. But one of the things I thought about was I had shipping containers out there. I was like, then I could get somebody to come paint it, which would be kind of cool. Because on one side, I'd want to have it look like it was a Jurassic Park container holding a dinosaur. So it'd have the side of what looked like in Jurassic Park of dinosaurs. And then on one end, I want to have it open like the Roadrunner and the Wild E. Coyote. That'd be painted on the other end so it looks open tunnel. I get weird sometimes. When insulate and wire it up, make them all home and leave it bare and deal with humidity. Yeah, it's true, but with those you do have to get other things. I did find out around here with shipping containers, they don't really have any rules for them. They don't have to be necessarily tied down. I'd want mine leveled and tied, but I could just legally just put one in the backyard and just set it there and do whatever I wanted with it. So, and that doesn't apply to a lot of stuff around here in Kansas City. So, give it time. I'm sure that'll change too. That was the thing. I think a max size shed you can have without needing a building permit was 8 by 10. Anything bigger than that, you had to have building permits for. And then, when you get to the metal sheds and everything's bigger than that. They have the ones that you come drop in that are pre-built. There's different rules for those too, but we went looking actually, I don't know, this was probably about 6-7 years ago, back at those, and I mean, the ones at Home Depot and Lowe's were worse, but we went to some of the places that's what they do, and they just, the quality of them was just like, man, I'd much rather build it. It might take me a hell of a lot longer to build it, but the quality of them just, the Home Depot and Lowe's ones were just pathetic. Now, granted, hopefully they would be better when they bring them to you, but if they bring you one that's on that little lot there, it's like, no thank you. Stiff wind looks like it'd blow it over. Well, I figure one day, I keep hoping, and everything slowly, gets better. I know I could probably rearrange down here, and everything would be a little bit better. I'm kind of looking over here at my laser systems and stuff now, going, there's two issues. This is a converted garage that I'm using now, which is okay, but I'm limited on my exhausting system right now, unless I was to spend some money. And if I was to spend, probably just a few $100, I could probably do something and be able to rearrange some stuff a little bit better. But I want to put that off, and every time I think about that, then it's like, well, if I'm going to do that, I would love to be able to get this floor done. Get the epoxy on my flooring done, so what's going on there? Got a ring. How did you move? Okay, there goes. That was weird. French pleat walls, my favorite organizer. Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of those on some handy type videos I've been watching, storage type things, and I was like, that'd probably be the easiest thing to do. I've seen a lot of things so they can hold almost anything you want. You can pretty much just build what you want to hold whatever you need. So I'm like, that's much better than like a peg wall system or something, slat walls. That I could easily do. I do have the equipment now, and to do that I have most of the woodworking equipment needed to work with wood, so again, biggest problem is having the space to be able to use it and be able to, now I have set up in our little storage tent garage doohickey thing. I've got a little setup in there for table saw, chop saw, bandsaw, and stuff like that. That I don't know. I probably won't leave out all winter, but I have been leaving it out during the summer, and it's made it a lot easier to go out there and do this or that because I've done so many things around the house this year. It's kind of weird with not doing the band stuff. It gives me more time to get some things done around the house that I put off for a while. Where in the world? I haven't done that in a while. Yeah, I screwed it up. I flung a ring. I haven't flung a ring in a while. Dropped several. Never flung one in a while. Oh, but yeah, you're here now. Just let me know about doing the laser stuff. I was going to send you a message afterwards because I thought you'd disappeared. Maybe you did. You might be gone now. I don't know. I probably missed you again. Done right. You can make a table with a folding leg on the table for more adjustable spaces. Yeah. Well, and actually, we got a place around here called a Restore. They get some used office equipment stuff, and they had some tables down there that were adjustable up and down that were L-shaped that would have worked perfect down here. And I wanted to get them so badly because I was like, man, oh man. The only problem was is at this kind of place, you go buy it, you got to pick it up right then. And I could not find a way of getting them easily home because I was wanting two of them and possibly a third one. But if you are there, like I said, with the laser stuff, just I was saying earlier, I'm going to be kind of open. I don't have the tumblers that I normally do for the fundraiser this year. At least they haven't contacted me, so I'm not putting it in my plans. So I actually build a little freer to do the laser work. So just drop me a line, send me off some stuff whenever you want to do anything. I've got those graphics already, and we can play around, like I said, no biggie. Whenever you want to. Where are we at in our time? Oh, we're almost at an hour? Yeah, I guess that makes about sense. We're kind of working up the second line now. My snake of snake shot. Like I said, they're going this way. Always takes me a bit longer. Did respond earlier. Almost left, but headed out now. Okay. Alright, man. Take it easy. Good to see you drop in, though. Yeah, I'll send along an address and all that, and whenever you get a chance, want to send them along, just send them along, and we go from there. So, otherwise, man, you have a good time, man. And hopefully see you. Well, now I'm kind of wondering, is it real paradise for 16 hours, or is that one of those, oh, paradises, yeah, facetiously. I do that. Oh, great, I get to go do my favorite thing ever. But then it's the other times you'll say that same quote, but it's like, oh, I'm going to go do my favorite thing ever. All right. All in how it is presented. Oh yeah, I gotta go backwards on these since they're backwards. It's like, why won't they come apart like normal? I'm starting to lose my marbles. I can already tell. I do need to eat a lunch. I didn't eat my lunch yet. Had a little later breakfast because I didn't eat before I went out mowing. But we are coming up on our hour, so I guess we're kind of that'll make it 1:30, right? Yeah. I need to get the dishwasher going. Just on the laundry too. I'm trying to get more used to. We got a thing. Our electric company is now going to some stupid. We already paid different depending on the hour. Now they've got 4 different programs you got to enlist into. From what I'm gathering, all of them are going to be. No matter which one you do, your bill's going to go up like 35% from what I'm seeing. And if you get into the wrong group because you pick the wrong hours of when you're going to use, your bill could even go crazier. And so I'm trying to figure out which bill plan we're supposed to get on. They don't make it easy. I don't have like, you know, online accounts with them. I guess you can do some tracking and all this crap. It's so just annoying. Why it should be the same every time, but looks like all of them have a time restriction. It's basically just kind of getting you to go with what they want you to do, I think, and yeah, not too happy about it at all. I mean, our water bill has gone insane. When we first moved in here, the bills were pretty decent, but here lately, man, oh, what is going on here? I didn't screw that up, did I? Okay, no. Thought I screwed up the ring for a second. But yeah, our bill was, you know, first moved in here, we were paying like $45 a month for water. Now we're almost $200 a month for water. So I'm trying to figure out how we can conserve water. And now between like 4 and 8 o'clock at night, you're going to have to conserve power. So I'm trying to get more used to, okay, that's dinner time. How can you not use stuff for dinner? You know, I don't want to be up in the middle of the night, but now that's going to be the best time from midnight to 6 in the morning to do laundry and dishes. Because it's going to be 2 or 3 cents more per kilowatt hour for certain hours. And then some hours are going to be cheaper, but then it depends on which plan you're on. And that might make sense for a lot of families that have different, you know, that if you don't work from home, you leave during the day, so you're not using anything during the day, some of these other plans might be better for you, but we're home all day. Wife's retired, I work from home. We got 2 adult kids, and one works constantly, the other one's had his health issues, but, I mean, no plan is going to be really cheap for us. Our stuff isn't cheap to begin with because there's always something going on. Now I've changed light bulbs. I've done a lot. We have brung down the bill in a way through the years, but it's still a battle. So, alright, well, we should be at our hour by now. Yeah, we are. So we did get about a row done, because we started about there, and so we didn't do too badly. Not too shabbily. But we're going to go ahead and call it quits for today. We'll be back on Thursday. Hopefully I'll have, let's see, I'd like to have at least 4 more rows done by then. We'll see how it goes. I guess you didn't see the creepy hands I was just doing. I'm not the face cam today because we're only on a single cam because we're doing the time lapse for this. But anyway, I do want to thank everybody, John, Wally, for stopping by. It's good to see y'all. Do thank anybody else that did drop in any of the other platforms on Twitch, YouTube, or Facebook. Don't forget to subscribe, give thumbs up, like, shares, all that good stuff. Otherwise, we will be back on Thursday at 12:30 again, and we'll be working on our inlay. So, otherwise, y'all have a great night, and we'll see you Thursday. Peace.